Today we're going to compare fractions. I love comparing fractions. It's actually pretty cool to draw models to do this skill. But first, let's review something. Here I have two shapes. They're both partitioned the same. What is the unit fraction for both shapes? If you said that the unit fraction for both shapes was 1/4, you are correct. If I want to shade in 1/4, I shade in one box out of the 4. But are they equal? Are these small parts the same? The shapes are partitioned in the same way, and they are partitioned with the same equal parts, but the parts are not equal. If I take this green shape and I bring it over to the red shape, you will notice that the red shape is much smaller than the green shape. Friends, I drew this to prove that in order to compare fractions with a model, we must use the same size shape, partitioned in the same way. Today, we are going to learn how to compare fractions. First, I want to bring your eyes over to the compare signs. We have greater than, less than, and equal. Remember, the alligator likes to eat the bigger number. So that open side always goes to the bigger number. Here are two fractions we need to compare, 2/4 and 1/8. Inside the circle, we're either going to give a greater than, less than, or equal to. Last year, the third graders came up with this wonderful model on how to compare fractions. I'm going to show you how to build this model. Remember, in order to build models to compare fractions, they have to be the same size and partitioned the same way. The first step is you make a rectangle. Not too big, not too small, because you are going to be doing some things inside the box. Because there are two fractions, you are going to split your box into two. And you're going to leave a little stage. This is where you're going to put your numbers. On the bottom, you want to make another stage for your next number. Now let's place our fractions on the stage. The first fraction is 2/4, and the second fraction is 1/8. Now let's partition our shapes. This rectangle up here will be partitioned to represent 2/4. The first thing I do is I look at my denominator and I say, how many equal parts am I partitioning this shape into? I'm going to partition them into 4. We are using vertical partitions in order to build this model. I know that 2 becomes 4. The unit fraction for each of these is 1/4. Now I look at the numerator. This will tell us how many boxes to shade in. I'm going to shade in 2 boxes. This shape is partitioned to represent 2/4. Now let's do the bottom one. I look at the denominator. The denominator tells me I'm partitioning into 8 parts. So first I start with 2 becomes 4. And then I take those and split them in half. And now they become 8. Each of these little parts are worth 1/8. How many small parts am I shading in? I'm shading in 1 small part. Now we can compare our fractions. Which piece is bigger? Like imagine this was a piece of cake. Which piece is the largest piece? Yes, friends, 2/4 is the largest piece. So we circle 2/4. Now let's fill in our circle. I know that the alligator likes to eat the bigger number. So 2/4 is greater than 1/8. And so I go ahead and write my sign and write my words. Today, as you work, make sure you are making shapes that are the same size, partitions in the same way and represent the fraction.